Hey, 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 everybody. Happy summer solstice, and more importantly, happy Yuri Day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is a Yuri Day. And we are going to do. Oh, thank you for the head pats, Cherry Wolf. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the 500 biddies, Tessa. Just, I'm so glad to see you, Cherry. Hello, hello. Am I already following you? I'm not already following you. Let me fix that. Hey, Gigi. Oh, we already got the redeems. Joseph wants me to do a hydrate and a stretch. Here we go. Here's your stretch. Let me go get a hydrate. That's actually very nice of you to do a hydrate because my throat's a little bit blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to be right back. I need to get a be right back screen. One sec. I gotta get a hydrate. The fridge is right over here. I'm singing loudly. Hopefully you all can still hear me. Literally, like, my apartment is so goddamn tiny that the fridge is just like, I like just take like 2, 3, 4 steps, walk through the kitchen to the fridge, and then back to my computer. That's how tiny this fucking apartment is. You moan when you're stretching. So instead of going like, you go like, yeah. I mean, people would redeem that all the time, Tessa. It sounds like a good point, redeem. Mm, mm. All right. So I'm so glad y'all came by, and we are going to continue with Chapter 5 of. We are going to continue. Nope. Well, that's your choice. That's cool. Oh, you mute your mic. Okay, okay. We are going to continue with Chapter 5 of. Say, Chapter 5 of game. You can say the title anytime now. I'm trying to do a setup here. We're continuing with Chapter 5 of. You know what? I'll just wait for the timer to load in. We're continuing with Chapter 5 of. There we go. Thank you, Juliet. We shall. Chapter 5, Stray Thoughts, that we are playing for Yuri Day. The familiar jingle of the bell house's door greets me as I walk in for what could be the last time. You may have, Cherry. You may have. I'm gonna have to add you on Steam and see if I could gift you that. I mean, I know I'm broke, but bleh. It is a Studio Elan Yuri lesbian visual novel that is, safe to stream. Everyone keeps their clothes on. It is an emotional roller coaster, though, so prepare yourself for that. Oh, I'll fight you. I'll fight you, all right. You come into my channel and you say, fight me, you're going to catch these claws. You got the tissues to cry? Okay, that's great. That's great. The familiar jingle of the bell house's door greets me as I walk in for what could be the last time. Once Aspen starts working at the new location next week, I won't have much reason to visit this one anymore. MB17PT, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the crime family. The scent of baking bread and brewing coffee, mixed with the clean earthiness of all the plants, is something that I'll miss too. Hey, Lena. Yep, you still remember me. I'm glad we worked our way around that. I just have to, fucking Discord video call you every night in order for you not to forget me, and she tilts her head over her shoulder to yell back towards the kitchen. There's a muffled sound from the back, and a couple of other patrons turn to look at the source of the shout. Lena ignores them entirely. Lena will also be moving over to the new location when it opens. Aspen told me she got to pick which staff members she wanted to invite to the new store, but she doesn't want Lena to know that. She'd never live it down. There's no game audio? Okay. Tess. Oh, Tess. You're such a darling, pure, innocent little girl. So nice and well-behaved for me. Yeah, that was my fuck-up. Oh my god, I was trying to get... Hold on. Yeah, I know. I fucked it up. So, hold on. Because I fucked this up, we're gonna do this. Because that bit just when I was like, we're starting with Chapter 5 of... So, we're starting with Chapter 5. I wasn't ready yet, Aspen!
How far did we get last time?
Yeah, sorry about the... We read this line, read that line.
Hey, welcome to the Bell House. Oh, it's Miho.
Hey, Lena.
Yep.
Aspen, your girlfriend's
here.
She'll be right out.
Thanks.
Since there's no one else in line, I lean against the counter to talk with Lena while I wait for Aspen.
I was just thinking about how I'm gonna miss this place. It must be like that for you too, right?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it too much. Maybe I'll miss it when I get there. But why get a head start on that when I've still got another week here?
Good point.
I'm sure Lena and I have different feelings about the Bell House anyway. I have a lot of special, treasured memories here. But for her, it's just part of her routine. Kind of like how the library is important to both Aspen and me, but not in the same way. Aspen herself comes out from the kitchen carrying a small plate with a strawberry croissant on it. Lena locks on instantly.
We still got croissants left?
Not anymore. I was saving this one for Miho.
Wow. Abusing your powers already?
Yeah, suck it. I get girlfriend privileges, Lena.
It's not the first time. Besides, I've noticed we go through blueberry muffins suspiciously fast when you're working the counter.
Ooh, called out.
Oh, dang it. I thought I was being sneaky.
Not sneaky enough, so shh.
Aspen puts a finger to her lips as she hands me the illicit treat.
Wow, it's been forever since I've had stolen food.
What's the point of having a position of power if you don't use it?
It's not stolen. It's just selectively available.
Right. I'm gonna go select something available from the rack myself. See you later, Miho.
Oh, Tessa, you. For the next 5 minutes? Okay. Because I just said that word. Hang on, I have to set up the timer. Oh, wait. Okay, go.
Bye, Lena.
Sure enough, she plucks a muffin from display case on her way to back of store. I take a bite of my croissant, getting strawberries and cream all over my hand. It's as messy as it is delicious.
Hello, motherfucker.
Thank you, Callista Dragon Soul. Welcome to Crime Family. I can't say a particular word for the next 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Fuck, I said the word! Reset.
Go sit down and I'll bring you something to drink. What would you like?
Damn it, cannot say that word.
Oh, it's okay. You don't have to do that. I want to, though. What do you have?
Well, another foxtail latte, please.
Aww.
Of course. I don't even have to ask.
It is my drink, after all.
It's your favorite? Aw, it's so cute. You get you get followed too.
Yes, I'm well aware. And I'll have it right out.
This is all your fault, Tessa. This is all your fault. This is my first playthrough. I carry my croissant to my favorite seat by window and sit down, enjoying familiar view. It's changed a bit since I first sat down here half a year ago, but it's still mostly same on outside. With only a couple weeks left until New Year, people bustle about outside, trying to make best of what's left of this one. God, it feels so awkward not being able to say that word. I think I've begun to understand why it's important to people, why it's worth numbering years when you'll only get to see so many of them. I spot Aspen approaching, carrying a drink in each hand. I move my plate out of way to make room for her as she sits down.
Here you are, a foxtail latte for its namesake.
Thanks! It's delicious!
You haven't even tried it yet.
So? I don't need to. I just know.
It has
Cute.
been a hit with the customers too, I must say. More than any of the other beverages I've created.
'Cause you made it with love. Azura Stell, thank you for following. Welcome to Crime Family.
Clearly I have my wonderful muse to thank for that. You've left a mark on this place too.
That's why I get them for free forever, right?
Nice to meet you too, Azura Stell. Get followed back, nerd. Yep, it is Yuri Day, and we're playing Please Be Happy.
Or as long as I'm working here at least. You know, maybe Lena was a little bit right about me abusing my powers.
I won't tell her you said that.
Good.
There's a growing list of things to not tell Lena. Aspen takes a sip of her own drink and looks impressed.
Damn, that is good.
She removes lid to let it cool, which isn't something I've seen her do before.
What are you doing after this? I'm only on a 5, by the way.
That's fine. I'll probably just head back to the library. I don't have much else to do today.
Jealous?
Why? What about you?
I'm only working half my shift here today. After lunch, I'm going to the new store to help Regina with some final inspections and then doing interviews for new hires. It's a lot.
You're doing all of that in one day?
There aren't that many days left. We should have been done with hiring already, but one person changed his mind last minute. So now...
Don't you hate it when that happens? She trails off and ends with a sigh, a combination I know all too well.
Well, I could go on, but I won't. Who would have thought opening a brand new restaurant would be so much work?
5 minutes! Oh my god, I'm free! Oh my god, I am free to say the word! The! Fuck you, Tessa, you evil little cutie! Please no, please no, please no, please no, please don't, Gigi. Although she laughs, I can't help but be a little concerned. Although it's been over a month since Aspen decided to take a break from writing, it's still way too soon for her to be overworking herself again.
Are you sure you're gonna be alright? I mean, you're gonna be this busy until it opens, right?
Oh, Tessa, you're evil.
If not busier, yes. It won't be fun, but I'll manage.
I've heard that one before, you know.
I know. I mean it though. Really. The soft opening is in 10 days. Even after that, there'll be plenty to do. Maybe more than there is now. But eventually things will settle down, and I don't have to sell my soul in the process too.
I'm only gonna allow you to ban one word at a time, guys. Don't ban 5 words at once. I can only keep track of one timer at a time. So, you know, you can also do things like get me to sing for the next 5 minutes. Oh, hey, Tessa, you would have enough to guide the raid. Which means if there's a particular streamer you want to support, you can point me towards them and I'll raid them.
That's the big difference. I can handle being tired. It was the dread and anxiety that I couldn't take.
Joseph. Might need to put a limit on the IRL word ban. Compared to before, there's something different in the way Aspen speaks. You thought you just did something there, didn't you? Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but it is possible to construct multitudes of sentences without employing the first letter of the English lexicon. So, fuck you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put a cooldown on IRL word ban. I don't want it getting abused. When she would talk about her writing and how she felt, it was obvious that even she didn't believe the words she was saying. But now, I can tell from the light in her eyes that she meant it.
Okay. You're pretty determined, huh?
I am. It felt good to make my mind up about something. I want to give it my very best, so that I can feel good when I look back on it too. Besides, I'd say that growing the new Bell House into Wellington's most popular cafe would be a more than adequate way to be remembered.
Let me, just go into my, viewer rewards. No drops, emo. It would be under... How would I, I don't know. I can't, It would be here, right? It's... Can't find the thing. Oh, here it is. Let's put... stopped myself. It's... Yes. Put cooldown timer on word ban. Redeem, then edited. Yes, it would have been way too much, Joseph. But I was doing the Sonic meme with Knuckles and Tails where Sonic tells them to make a sentence without using that letter at all.
But I'll settle for it being a hidden gem too.
As long as you're selling strawberry croissants and foxtail lattes? I don't see how it could be anything else.
Yes, Tessa, you are so powerful.
Hopefully. Word of mouth from the first few days will be very important. If we fail to make a good first impression, then it could be hard to recover.
You're worrying too much. Everyone already loves the Bell House. I'm sure they'll love yours too.
She does have a stash of the tape, LRB. Once Miho and Aspen started dating, she probably handed the roll of tape over to Aspen and said, "Here, use this."
Me? Worry too much? No way.
Uh-huh.
Well, you're probably right. Besides, I have a great team too. With their help, I'm sure it'll turn out
Totes.
okay.
That's more like it. You and Lena are gonna do great.
Yeah!
I can't let her show me up after all, especially as the store manager.
Hell yeah.
Oh God, I really am starting to sound like her.
That's another one for the list, right?
Naturally. Speaking of Lena, I need to get back to work. I'm busy this afternoon, but I'm free tomorrow after work.
I'm always free when you are.
It's a date then.
We say goodbye with a kiss like usual before Aspen has to leave. You're doing joke? What joke are you doing? I finish up the last bites of my croissant on my own, watching out the window. At one point, even the Bell House wasn't here. I don't know what was, but it's hard for me to picture it as anything else. At one point, it was just someone's dream, an idea, or half-formed concept. It took lot to turn that into the little restaurant that I know and love today. For the new Bell House, Aspen will be responsible for the start of its story, for making it more than just dream. I have lots of faith in her, though. Aspen's great at stories. Seeing her enthusiasm and determination return is such relief. Her path forward is clear, at least for now. I'm glad for her. I really am. Still, I can't help but wish I had something like that for myself, too. Goal to work forward towards, or dream to fulfill. She named it after her girlfriend. 'Cause her girlfriend's got a foxtail. It's not made from foxtail, I don't think. At first, Juliet let me work at the library so that I could have some structure in my everyday life and to get more used to being around other people. But that's not something I need as much anymore. I don't mind my job, but the fact that I'm here right now and come and go whenever I feel like it kind of proves that what I do there isn't 100% necessary. Still, it's home. It's place to go back to while I figure out what's next. So after cleaning up my trash and finishing up my drink, that's exactly what I do. At breakfast, Juliet and I set up the table, and she prepares place for 3 people like usual.
I forgot to tell you. Aspen won't be here today.
Oh, I see. Is everything all right?
Another thing I might do is I might, for the singing redeem, is I might shorten the amount of time I need to sing for. Because it is super cute. But because right now the amount of time is 5 minutes, but that's a really long... Fuck! I had 19 seconds left! I had 19 seconds left on the timer!
Yeah, she's just busy. She said she doesn't know how
I
Oh!
understand. She must have a lot of responsibilities to take care of right now.
I was worried about how much.
Now I gotta start all over.
But she's pretty confident in herself. So maybe it'll.
It's only natural that you'd be concerned. You care about her a lot. I'm sure she's glad that you worry about her. Even when she tells you not to.
I was almost free. I was almost free.
I have faith in her too. When Aspen puts her mind to something, she's unstoppable.
You know, I cannot remember the last stream someone used the word ban redeem.
Earliest memories of her came from her first visit to the library when she was trying to find a certain book on the shelves. Only it wasn't there because I was reading it at the time and had it in my room.
Joseph.
She asked if she could borrow it, promising to return it the next day. I told her she could take more time with it, but she stayed up all night reading it and brought it back like she promised. It wasn't a short book by any means either. I imagine she's treating her new role with similar focus and determination, which is why I'm sure she'll succeed in the end.
Yeah, you're right. I can't spend all my time worrying about her. Even though I said that last time, I understand it better this time.
That's good. It can be a difficult lesson to learn.
Tessa's glad she can't catch the claws.
That's for sure.
Juliet laughs, and then we start to eat. It is little quiet without It is little quiet without Aspen, or even the sound of her silverware, especially since for Juliet, having meal is entirely symbolic anyway. I try to eat fast just to get it over with. When we finish and clean up, Juliet lingers around the kitchen for a bit in that way that means she has something to say. Sure enough, once everything else is done, she clears her throat.
Miho, there's something I wanted to ask you.
Are you saying you want me to feel my claws in your back, Tessa? Tessa? Is that what you are saying?
Sure. What's up?
Earlier this morning, I saw that I'd received a reply to a message that I never expected to be answered. A couple months ago, I managed to find someone online that I thought might be related to your friend Zhongying, and reached out to confirm. They never got back to me, and so I didn't mention it to you.
Could be fun, Tessa. 30 seconds, come on.
But then today,
30 seconds. 28,
she finally
27.
responded and said that yes, they are distant relatives.
Oh, shit!
She said that if you'd like to talk with her, she'd be happy to tell you a bit about Zhongying, or at least what she knows. Is that something you'd like to do?
Oh. Wow.
Weren't expecting that, were ya? 3, 2, 1. Freedom!
I guess you wouldn't be shocked that I never even thought about them maybe having a family.
I thought that might be the case. You're welcome to think about it and get back to me later.
In my mind, Zhong-Yin was always alone, but with me. They belonged to the forest and to the rest of the world equally. But it makes sense that they weren't really alone, that they had people who loved them too. It hits me that there's so much I don't know about Zhong-Yin. Really, I barely know anything. Every minute shared with me only represented a very small part of their life. In a sense, they may as well be a stranger. Fuck you, you can't stop me. I'm a little afraid that knowing more about them could change how I feel about them too. But I decide that's a risk I'm willing to take. I'd rather know more about who they really were.
Nah, I don't need to. I'd like to talk to her.
Wonderful. I'll let her know then. I believe she's in America, so
Oh, what's
our
the game,
times are
Tessa?
fairly different.
What's the
Shall
game?
I see if tomorrow evening would work?
Sure, that sounds good. Thanks. And thanks for tracking her down and messaging her in the first place.
It's my pleasure. It's what I specialize in,
Yep,
after all.
I'm free.
I'll let you know tonight if I hear back from her.
Awesome.
Okay. I'm going to see Aspen when she gets off work. But I'll be back sometime this evening.
I'll
Sea of
see you then.
Thieves.
Have a great day, Mio.
I've never played Sea of Thieves.
Have a good sleep.
Night, night, Juliet. There's a lot that I'm looking forward to about with Aspen today. I set myself up in the library and take care of my chores like usual, but it's hard to think about anything else. The afternoon sunshine draws us to the park once Aspen gets off work. Instead of gets off, bleh. My brain did something weird. I'm sorry. No, Aspen is going to get off, if you know what I mean. Just kidding, it's not that kind of game. The afternoon sunshine draws us to the park once Aspen gets off work. Instead of staying indoors at her apartment or the library, she tells me all about her day at work, and in exchange, I tell her about my upcoming call.
Wow! Juliet's incredible, isn't she? I had no idea she was setting that up.
Yeah, Juliet's pretty awesome.
Me either. It was a total surprise. She said she sent the message a long time ago, though, and it took months before she got a response.
Well, I can certainly empathize with that. At least in this case, the response turned out to be a good one.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I'm a little bit nervous, though.
Oh, why? Why are you nervous,
About
Miho?
what?
Tell us about it.
Just about what they might say. What if it turns out Changyin is totally different from what I thought? What if they were actually a terrible person?
Then that would be true whether you knew it or not. They do say ignorance is bliss for a reason. If I were you, though, I would want to know the truth no matter what.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe someday I'll be able to do something without worrying about it the whole time.
If you figure out the secret, let me know. Lena sure isn't sharing it. I think she's somewhere around here too. At least she mentioned that before she clocked out.
Is that why we're here?
Not at all. I adore Lena, but I'll be spending more time with her than without her for the next month. I just wanted to appreciate the fresh air before I forget what it's like.
Aw.
Put a ton of plants in your bell house too. Did you know that plants help us breathe? I just learned that on TV.
Hey!
Rare, but I'm glad for you.
She's so smart.
Plants are on the list, though. I also want to put in a reading corner with a small library.
Oh,
for people to browse
shit.
while they
There's-
visit.
There's an... She's describing a coffee shop that Lexi and I... A, like, independent coffee shop that Lexi and I like to hang out at.
Regina's allowing me to set it up and decorate how I see fit, so I'm being as self-indulgent as I can.
Yeah.
Cafe with a library in it? That sounds perfect for you. Where would you get the books from? Juliet?
I was planning to ask her for some, yes, as well as a few from my own collection, and Lena's, and anyone else who'd like to donate. Maybe Juliet would even let us share books, so you can return them at either place.
How would you keep track of it? Would you hire someone to do it?
Well, I happen to know a certain someone who's very experienced in that position. But no, we would simply have to use the honor system, like Juliet used to.
I still don't get how she doesn't worry about people stealing them. I mean, I do, but I don't.
I think it makes sense. Maybe it's even impossible to steal from a library. After all, they're meant for sharing books. If you take one home and give it to a friend instead of returning it, it still served its purpose. Or if you hold on to it for years and then only return it much later, you still returned it. That's the beauty of books. They can always wait. My New Year's resolution is to get through at least half of my backlog, personally.
Ha, that's not gonna happen, Aspen. Life is not gonna give you the time.
Your New Year what?
Resolution. It's like a goal that you set for yourself for the year. And then usually give up on by February, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
That sounds neat. Did you have one this year?
I did. It was to finish and hopefully release a book. It may not have come true, but I'm happy with the outcome, all the same.
I should try to think of one for next year myself. Maybe I'll try to get through half my reading backlog too.
Do you have one of those?
Nope. So I'm doing good already. Maybe it'll be to read 10 books. Or 100 books. I don't know what a good number to try is.
Probably somewhere in between.
Yeah.
You don't have to make it about reading, though. You don't have to make one at all if you don't want to. Only if it helps motivate you.
Yeah.
I'll think about it. I've been thinking that I need something else to do with my life as it is.
Something else?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, the library's fine and all. But I'm not really excited about it the same way you are about the Bell House. Yesterday, I was thinking about how Juliet doesn't need me to help her. She just gave me the job as a favor.
Oh, yeah.
Even if she
that's
said
true.
otherwise. I don't really need that favor anymore, though.
You've outgrown it.
Yeah. I have other things I can rely on.
One of them links arms with me.
Always.
Not far away, there's an empty bench alongside the path, and Aspen leads us to it so we can sit down. We've been walking for almost an hour now, so a break is nice. Aspen takes off her hat and sets her purse on the ground between us while I stretch out my legs. We're not the only ones out here enjoying the afternoon. The park's alive and bustling. Bikers, joggers, dog walkers, and skaters all dodge around each other, plus the regular pedestrians like Aspen and me. Some of the dogs even run around off their leashes, ditching the road entirely. People are playing all kinds of sports too, and I can even tell the difference between some of them by now. I'm still a bit confused on what football is, though. I even spot Lena, though she doesn't see us. Aspen pokes me in the side.
Oh, look over there. Think he's lost?
Pupper! Across from us, a dog is sniffing around. There's a break in the foot traffic around us for now, so I don't see anyone watching.
His owner's probably around here somewhere. Maybe he ran ahead of them.
The dog looks over at us like he knows we're talking about him. He takes a couple steps towards us, sniffing the air, his tail wagging just a little bit. Is he gonna freak out when he smells Miho? Is he gonna freak out when he smells Miho?
Oh, come here. Here, puppy.
The puppy, Aspen's right about that, slowly creeps closer towards Aspen's outstretched hand. I sit still, not wanting to spook him. He seems friendly but cautious. 1 step, 2 steps, he never stops sniffing. Then he runs forward, bites the handle of Aspen's purse, and takes off with it. Little shit! Aspen jumps to her feet.
Hey, stop. Come here.
The dog doesn't even look back as it runs away, dragging Aspen's purse with it. The contents start to spill out as they go. I run after the puppy, who's going further into the park, not wasting my breath shouting. I've been running way too much these past couple months. I could transform, but I think that would probably scare him even more. I know better than to chase a dog, but I don't have much other choice. I hope I can just wear him out and then catch him. Glancing back, I see Aspen following behind me, gathering up everything that she can. The puppy also looks back at me every now and then, changing directions at random. Some of the other people who see us lunge for the dog or try to block him off, but he dodges all of them and keeps running. I'm a little impressed. He zigzags again, but this time it's lucky for me. He's heading straight towards Lena.
Hey, Lena!
She spins around to see me, and I can tell she's trying to process what's happening. The dog is closer to her
Catch
than it is
him!
to me. Luckily, my words get through. Lena crouches, already warmed up. The puppy sees her and starts to go in a different direction, away from the both of us.
Not so fast!
You got this, Lena. You got this. Lena jumps for him and flaps her wings to carry herself even farther. She crashes to the ground just in front of the dog, who scrambles over himself to try to stop and turn
Gotcha.
again. I reach him just in time to grab him by the scruff of the neck. He immediately drops Aspen's purse like a thief who's been caught. Not that I would know. Aspen herself is slowly approaching, her arms full as she tries not to drop everything.
Not quite how I expected to end my workout today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lena. You're literally a lifesaver.
Whoa! Aspen said literally! That means it's serious.
Hell yeah, girl. You were badass. I make sure Aspen's purse is safe before I let go of the puppy, who's been tossing and turning in my arms. Aspen walks up and wags a
And
finger at him.
as for you, hasn't anyone taught you any manners?
The dog walks away from us, but not very far, so we can watch instead. He reminds me a little bit of Silver. I hope he doesn't turn into a person.
I've seen that dog around before. Pretty sure he's a stray. I haven't heard of him taking anyone's stuff like that, though.
Got anything good in your purse?
Not if you're a dog. There's just...
While digging around in her now refilled purse, Aspen stops, then pulls out a swooshed plastic
I
wrapper.
guess there's the other half of my lunch that I forgot about.
The dog wags his tail and barks in Aspen's direction. She
This is
frowns.
what you were after, wasn't it? It really wasn't that good, I promise.
She unwraps the remnants of a sandwich and tosses it to the dog. He gobbles it down in just a couple bites before looking at us for more. If he's a stray, like Nina said, that could be the best meal he's had in days.
That's all I have.
Nina and I are both.
What should we do with him? What if he's not a stray and someone's looking for him?
They must not be looking very hard. I've seen him a couple days in a row now.
Poor thing. He seems so friendly when he isn't running off with my things.
Poor little guy. down to try to pet him, and he lets me. He even licks my hand a couple times.
Maybe we can take him back to the library with us. Juliet might know what to do.
Why are you here, Griff? Say one simple thing. How the heck am I not following you, Griff? Why? I should have... Shadow's vagina. Shadow's vagina. Love you too, Griff. I might have to stream like another Sonic game with you at some point, Griff, so we just, if nothing else, for the Shadow's vagina joke.
Well, she is known for helping strays. I'm not sure how we'd get him back there, though.
I can carry him. He doesn't look too heavy.
Carry him?
Yeah, why not? If he'll let me pick him up, at least.
Oh, good question.
Just please be careful.
I will.
I crouch down and approach him slowly, keeping my hand out for him to sniff. I also try to wag my own tail to help reassure him. Instead of running away, he just flops onto his back, asking for a belly rub. I do that with one hand while I slide the other beneath him. He's so lean that I can see his ribs. Then I scoop him up. He woofs in surprise, but doesn't try to escape. Don't try to escape me, puppy! Quaaludes. The fuck is a Quaalude? Methaqualone. It's a fucking a sedative. God damn.
That wasn't so bad.
Yeah, both Aspen and Lena crowd in to pet him now that he can't get away. He sits there and takes it all in stride.
Okay, he's not that heavy, but let's get going anyway.
All right, I'll text Juliet so that she isn't totally blindsided when we get there. See you tomorrow, Lena.
Later, boss! Later, mijo! Oh, later, puppy!
Still leaning against my shoulder, the dog doesn't mind when Aspen moves his paw to wave goodbye to Lena. Dog acquired. Aspen also holds him a couple times. For some reason, he's more antsy with her than with me, so her turns don't last as long. When we arrive at the library, Juliet's waiting just inside.
Oh my, isn't he precious?
It hungers for the souls of the innocent. The puppy thumps his tail against my chest as Juliet comes over to pet him. People just can't stop themselves from doing that,
Let's
I guess.
take him upstairs.
I don't want to set him down here with the last few library patrons and all the books. Other than his initial chase, he's been pretty calm. But that could change once he's recharged. We all go to my room, where I finally put the dog on the floor. He starts sniffing around immediately. Did you just say Juliet has low standards? Wow, Griff. Wow.
I like him a lot more when he isn't robbing me.
He just didn't know how to ask politely.
Means we 100%. Hey, I'm already dating Aspen in this game. There's a half-full glass of water on my desk, and I set it down on the ground so the dog can drink some. God damn, that was a very, very harsh burn, though, Griff. Wow. Miho is gonna need some ointment for that. Juliet does have a route, though. I'm just playing Aspen's route. There's a half-full glass of water on my desk.
I'll go fetch a bowl of water and
Yeah.
see if we have anything that would be safe for him to eat. And then we can talk about what to do with him.
Aspen sits down on my bed, but I sit on the floor, and the dog walks over. Hello, Lexi. And the dog walks over to sniff
Seems he's already taken a liking to you.
because she's a fox. His fur is stiff and coarse, and he's bony. He can't be that old, which makes me think he must have spent most of his short life as a stray. Juliet returns soon, setting the water and also a bowl with some banana slices, bread, and a slice of cheese.
It's not the healthiest meal, but it should keep his belly full for a little bit.
Dog digs in like he didn't just eat half a sandwich earlier. The bowl slides across the floor from the force of his munching, and then he smacks his lips while he tries to chew the banana.
Is it okay if he stays here for a while? I'll
He
take
looks like
care
a
of him.
quadrupedal gremlin.
Even if it's just until we find his real owner, if he has one. I don't want to just kick him back out.
Oh, heavens! I wouldn't dream of just tossing him back out on the street. But taking care of a pet, even for a couple of days, is a lot of work. Are you sure?
Oh, speaking of, Lexi, have the kitties been fed? Awesome. Oh, I can think of one kitty that hasn't been fed, though. I should have gotten food before I started my stream. Well, my mistake. I'll starve for the next 2 to 3 hours.
I'm sure. Whatever it is, I'll do it.
I can kinda see it. Cherry! Nary? Cherry! What's up, Cherry? What? Get some food after this, please. Yes, yes, I will. Actually, you know what I could do? Still here, just was doing Genshin pulls. Hey, I'm just happy you're here. You don't need to be active in chat. I'm just happy you're here. That out of all the streamers you could have watched, you chose me, and that makes me feel really special. So thank you so much. Anyway, remember how I said it's only a short couple of steps to the kitchen? Don't feed it after midnight. What would a gremlin voice even sound like? Get over to Twitter! Hi-ho! It's off to it we go! Lexi just smacked my ass again! And she technically missed the cheek and hit a little bit too high. Why are you doing this, Lexi? She just smacked my ass twice. Ah! I'll get you for this, Lexi. Yes, I will. I will get you for this. Yes, I will get you for this, Lexi. Lexi 100% has an ass fixation. The brain gremlin and the female one. And Gizmo, who's technically a gremlin. That's what Gizmo sounds like, right? And then there's the smart gremlin. Revenge is a dish best served ice cream. Ah, New York, New York. The city's so nice, they named it twice. That's the brain gremlin, right? And I don't remember what the female gremlin sounded like. Anyway, at Cherry's recommendation, remember how I said it's just a short couple of steps from here to the kitchen and back here in my tiny, tiny ass apartment? I'm gonna go get myself some food. BRB! Okay, you're back, Griff? Well, I'm back too. How about that? Ain't that convenient? I've only had this puppy for a couple hours, but I already know that I don't want anything bad to happen to him. If anything happens to this gremlin-faced puppy, I'll kill everyone in this room and then myself. Wait, but her girlfriend is in this room. No! Scrounging for food, stealing, not having anywhere to go back to. They're all things I can relate to.
I don't see why not, then. I'll keep an eye out as well for anyone who may be searching for a lost dog like him.
Thanks. I don't think he has any people, though. I think he's all
It will
on his own.
kill everyone first.
It will unalive everyone first.
You
Probably.
may be right. Still, we should do our best to make sure.
Right. I'll look out for any posters or missing signs.
After he finishes his meal, the dog flops down by me. He stares at me but doesn't move. Instead, he's fighting to keep his eyes open. Now that he's eaten more, he does seem totally exhausted.
He must be in doggy paradise right now after spending a few days in the park. I know I sure would be.
I look up at Juliet, smiling.
Yeah. I think he'll like staying here.
We got a puppy. Puppy acquired. When I wake up, the dog is already awake and staring at me from the floor, ready to go. The two of us go downstairs and join Juliet for breakfast, where she's prepared another bowl of fruit and bread for the dog. He eats it, but even if he's only going to be here for a couple days, he'll need more than people food.
I think I'm gonna go buy some dog food for him. I can get that at most stores, right?
Yes, it shouldn't be difficult to find.
I check my wallet. I have plenty of money since Juliet pays me for library work, but there's hardly ever anything I need to buy myself. This will be as good a use as
Do
any.
you mind watching him while I go?
Not at all.
Thanks.
I kneel down and pet the dog's head. I've already learned one of his favorite spots, right at the base of his ears, and give him a good scratch.
Okay, stay here with Juliet, alright?
Woof. I really am turning into Aspen with how much I talk to the dog. Although he stays put for a moment, he follows me to the front door before I can leave. I gently push him back with my foot.
No, you can't come with me.
The dog paws at my leg, looking at me expectantly. Once more, I let him outside to relieve himself, but even after he finishes that, he won't go back into the library without me.
You're not gonna take no for an answer, are you?
Sighing, I accept my fate. I let Juliet know about the change of plans, and then the dog and I start walking. He stays near me, sometimes going off the path to sniff stuff or something, but he always returns. Each time he starts to walk away, I feel a tinge of worry that he won't come back. That possibility is just something that I have to accept. Even if some details of my past have gotten hazy for me, I can still clearly remember how it feels to need to run and escape. Looking for that cocaine? If the dog decides that's what he needs to do, then it's not my place to stop him. Still, I'm relieved every time he stops sniffing and returns to my side. That's why he's sniffing so much. It's the coke. It's all the crack. Eventually, we get into town, and I find a pet store. There's a sign on the window saying that dogs are allowed inside, which is what I was hoping for. bell rings when we walk in, although it doesn't sound as pretty as the one at the Bell House. I wander around until I find the dog food section. There are more choices here than I thought. Big bags, small bags, red bags, blue bags. I'm not sure which one to pick. Hey, Gigi, I have been playing this game while high before. Twice, in fact. The dog sniffs each one of them in turn. I want to see if one gets his interest more than the others, but it doesn't seem like he's picky. I try to find which one is the most similar looking dog on the front.
Guess I'll go with this one.
On the way to the front, the dog veers off down another aisle, and I follow behind to see what's got his attention. Of course it's the toy aisle. Just like in the food section, there are dozens on display. He sniffs them all even more furiously than the kibble. He found the Coke. There's a small basket of plastic toys on the ground, and he pulls one out with his mouth. It looks like a cartoon squirrel, and its tail squeaks when he bites it. He gives it a good shake, getting a few more squeaks in the process. His tail wags even faster than his head, and he looks up at me eagerly. I reach for the toy, but he hops away and then crouches down, tail still going, daring me to try and take it. This is a normal Tuesday. I do, but he instantly jumps out of reach once more, shaking and squeaking the toy again.
Okay, you can keep it. But come on, I gotta pay.
It's been a long time since I've stolen anything. Now that I can actually pay for things, I can't see myself stealing again. I kind of feel guilty about things I took in the past, but I only ever did what I had to in order to survive. Once I had support from others in my life and the help I needed to get my feet on the ground, stealing stopped being something I felt like I had to do. At the counter, I used 2 fingers to hold the slobbery toy so the cashier can scan it before returning to the dog. I tuck the bag of food under one arm, and then we start walking home. We reach a crosswalk, arriving right as the light changes to send traffic across our path. I come to a halt while I wait, switching which arm I use to carry the bag since it's getting sore. The puppy doesn't stop with me. Instead, he doesn't look back as he runs out into the road, eager to get back to the library. No, 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 no. Oh, no.
You dummy! You could have died right there!
The squirrel toy in his mouth squeaks as he squirms in my grasp. That was where I actually got anxious there. I thought we were about to lose the dog. I thought the dog was about to just suddenly die. If I'd been just once... Oh, that was the squirrel toy that squeaked. If I'd been just one step farther away, I would have been too late to rescue the dog. I probably would have gotten myself hit for my troubles, too. It was Griff. It was the squirrel toy that squeaked, not the dog. It actually squeaked in my game sound, yes. Behind us and across the street, the bag of food lies on its side. Some kibble strewn across the ground from a spot where it tore when I dropped it. Whether the dog wants to run away or stay with me is up to him, but I can't just let himself get hurt or worse. I only have one choice. I hoist the dog up and hold him with one arm, just like the dog food bag that I go back and retrieve before we start walking again. He doesn't squirm as much as he did yesterday, which helps a lot, but still, by the time we make it back to the library, both my arms feel like they're ready to fall off. When I set the dog down, he strolls up to the library door as if nothing happened, waiting for me to let him in. I guess in his mind, maybe nothing did happen. He's got no clue how lucky he was. A long time ago, Juliet said that sometimes your best is all you can do. That goes for puppies too. If I'd been born a city dog instead of a fox, I doubt I'd be much different either. Still, I have to think it's a miracle that any dog makes it to adulthood, especially strays like him. How long until it mutates into a horrid monster? I don't know. I don't think it's that kind of game. Ba, 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 ba. When it's finally time for my meeting, Juliet helps me get set up on her computer and then lets me take it to her room. I adjust the screen until I can see it properly, and then I wait. My nervousness keeps building until I nearly jump when the call finally comes through. As the ringtone plays, I hit a deep breath and then hit accept. The tiny person-shaped bubble on the notification dissolves, and for a second there's just a black screen. Then a woman appears. When the image comes into focus, she's squinting at the screen, probably waiting just like me. But then she smiles and waves as she's able to see me.
Hello!
Hi, I'm Miho. Nice to meet you. Thanks for talking to me.
Varnas said.
I'm Minsa. No problem.
Nice to meet you, Minsa.
Gotta say, I was shocked when I got your friend's email at first. I thought it was gonna turn out to be some kind of scam, and eventually she'd ask for money. I'm still a bit confused, though. So you were friends with my ancestor?
That dog is so ugly, even the thing wouldn't infect it. Oh my god. You guys are harsh on that dog.
Sort of. I met them when I was really young. I was just a regular fox back then.
Wait. A fox, like with 4 legs and pointy ears?
I'm not weighing in on my 2 cents here.
Yeah. After I met Jung-in, I turned into the person I am today.
Whoa. So that was a long time ago, huh? But you look even younger than me. Oh, that's just not fair.
Sorry, mortal. Varney! What is it, Varnas? Varn-ass. I am sorry I haven't been. A reverse furry. Yeah, that's the whole plot of the game. She's a gumiho. Your dog set a trap earlier today? What did your dog do? What's the dog doing? Both of us laugh, and I can't help but be relieved that she already feels easy to talk to.
That explains a lot, at least.
Griff, if anything, Miho is still a furry. She's a gumiho, so yeah, she's a furry.
So, Chongyin, you're the second person to ask me about them this year, you know? That's 2 times more than most years.
Who was the first?
These guys at some archaeological society who were putting on an exhibition. They wanted permission to display some of their old works.
Are you the only family they have?
Whoa, Miblia! Whoa, ah! Punk skunk raid! Whoa! Ah, I got up. Yeah, that's a raid. Welcome in, raiders. Welcome in. Let me give you a shout out, Miblia. Welcome, raiders. Playing Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door. How was that? For those who don't know me, I am Nary a Care, criminal cat girl extraordinaire, looking out for my fellow punks. I'm so glad you came in here, Miblia. Thank you so very, very much. I gotta try it. I gotta hang out with Vivian, a little purple trans ghost. So we have a water sprinkler, and what my dog did was I threatened to put her ball under it since she hates water. So my dog got as close to the water sprinkler as possible and didn't let me get the ball from her until she suddenly dropped it. And the moment you bent down to pick up the ball, you got soaked. She timed it perfectly, too. Clever girl. You know, you almost can't help but admire that.
The only one who can use a computer, at least. The only reason I know any of the history is because I had to.
You had to? What does that mean? Raiders came in. Well, we're playing Please Be Happy. It's a Yuri visual novel, and we're playing it. Well, I've been playing it for a while now, but it's Yuri Day and Ugly Dogs. Yeah, Varnus and Magikarp, Griff, they both do not like the dog in this game.
Did I tell you everything I know, and then you can ask me any questions? No promises if I'll be able to answer them, though.
Sure, that works for me.
Let's see. Well, I'm not related to them by blood, for one thing. They didn't have any kids of their own. But they got married, and they and their wife adopted several children. I'm related to one of those kids. They were part of the Young Bun class, a noble and a scholar. But rather than be stuck at home suffering through court life, they hid their identity and snuck away to travel the world instead.
That's probably how they found Miho. Minsa speaks with a practiced tone, like she's given this speech a few times. Still, I listen with rapt attention, memorizing every detail.
They spent years on the go, seeing everything they could, before finally coming back home to Korea to settle down and start a family.
They are really cute.
While they were away, they kept a journal and wrote letters back to their beloved.
Varnus really does not like the dog.
Although calligraphy was something they were taught from a young age, they began practicing as an artist during their travels. Sometimes, the letters they sent would include paintings of the things they'd seen, or they'd include little drawings in their journal.
Bruh.
Something else that they started to do was give a note to the people they met on their journey, with a little message of appreciation or wishes. My husband always says they remind him of fortune cookies.
Oh, I actually have one of those scrolls myself.
I brought my scroll down from my room just in case it came up like this. I unfurl it for the first time since Halloween. Please be happy. Yep. I turn the scroll around and hold it up to the camera so Minsa can see. She leans in again, looking close.
Yeah, that's definitely theirs, all right. And they gave it to you when you were just a fox?
Yeah. Although, I couldn't read it until a couple months ago.
God, it's so hard to read their handwriting, right? I'm like, if they were born today, they totally would have been a doctor. I have a few of them myself, although they're up in the office. Grandma has like 90. She says she has one for every year she's been alive, and I definitely believe that.
Yep, thank you for that, Varn. I was about to take care of it myself, but you're fucking on it. You're fucking on it like a cheap bra. Let's be honest. In this channel, the bras don't stay on for long. Speaking of... mine's getting a little sore.
Jeez, that's a lot. How many did they give out altogether?
Who knows? If someone told me it was thousands, I'd believe them. I don't know if they gave one to every person they met, but it must have been close.
Huh. I thought mine must be pretty rare.
It's still special. However many there were, I'm sure most haven't lasted this long. Not everyone got a full scroll either, but no. They're not some priceless artifacts that'll sell for a ton of money or something.
Varnus ban... Can you imagine they give a scroll to a honey badger and it just goes fucking apeshit? Well, where would they find a honey badger in East Asia, Korea, and China? Where would they? Are there like a related species of very, very angry weasel that lives in that region of the globe? Because honey badgers are an African animal. I mean, this would have been in the era before international zoos were a thing. Which, by the way, it's really fucked up how today there are more tigers in the United States than anywhere else on Earth.
Otherwise, I'd be talking to you from my mansion by the beach.
That's fine. I'd never sell mine anyway. It's way too important to me.
Yeah, I figured. I'm sure it wasn't easy to keep it safe and in such good condition.
That's for sure. We've been through a lot together.
That's good. I'm sure that's what they would have wanted.
Phone's working again, but fucking ads. For a while, Minsa tells me more about Zhang Yin's adventures. Even though it's hard for me to picture some of the people and places involved, I still pay close attention. Then all of a sudden, Minsa's eyes go wide like she's had some huge revelation.
Oh, I'm an idiot! Hold on, I'll be right back. I have to show you.
They are, huh? To Korea? She gets up and runs off screen, leaving me with a view of an empty chair and a bookshelf. Instead, I look down at my own scroll. Somehow I'd always assume it was one of a kind, or at least something rare and meaningful, but somehow finding it out that that isn't the case doesn't really bother me. Instead, it's nice to think that they met so many people to be grateful to, or who left an impact on them. If there were thousands of scrolls like mine out there, then that's not a bad thing at all. After a few seconds, Minsa returns to the computer and sits down, carrying a scroll herself.
This is one that I had in the office. I can't believe I didn't think about this sooner. Sometimes they'd include a butterfly in their signature or hide one in their paintings because they said they were inspired by butterflies to travel with the wind. But then, at some point, instead of butterflies, they started to include something else instead.
It's a fox.
Can you see her?
She holds up the scroll up to her cameras like I did, focused on one of the bottom corners. It's a fox. There, just below where they signed their name, is a little picture of a fox. Of me.
I should have thought of it when you mentioned foxes earlier. At one point, they started using the alias Horim for their work.
Hori.
I don't know if you speak any Korean, but Horim means fox forest. After they started using that name, foxes would show up in their art for the rest of their life.
The drawing consists of just a few brush strokes that make a head and ears and face. Still, it feels like seeing a photograph of myself. I can picture them smiling as they drew it, as they thought of me. I'd always wondered if our time together was as important to them as it was to me. Hearing that they chose that name practically confirms it. You guys, this game's gonna
Thanks
make me
for
cry
showing
again.
me.
This game is gonna make me cry again. I can feel the threat of tears, but somehow I manage to keep my composure. I'm glad you can, Miho. I'm trying to keep my composure as well. This always gives me chills in all the best ways.
No problem. Grandma's gonna freak out when I tell her I talked to you. I've told you basically all I know, but were there any questions you had?
Yeah, I did have one. I'm a little afraid to know, but
I take a deep breath. They were human, so my question was only natural, but still, sailing, I think myself asked.
how'd they die?
Minsa smiles.
Bold and peacefully. Their wife outlived them, but not by too long. They had the typical funeral that was expected when they passed away, but then, they actually had one final secret request to their family. They wanted to be cremated. Back then, it was basically unheard of, especially for someone of their stature. But they really wanted it to be done so that they could have their ashes scattered. That way, the wind could pick them up, and they could keep traveling forever.
So then... It sounds like they were happy.
Oh yeah. They told their kids that they had no regrets, because they'd live as full and rewarding a life as they could.
I mean, it's bittersweet, but it's sad and happy at the same time. It's... I'm afraid that if I try to say too much, I'll start to cry. So I just nod instead while I find my
I'm
voice.
glad to know that.
Of course, of course. It's only right that you know, considering how many foxes showed up in their work.
I think Minsa can tell that I'm having a tough time holding it together because her voice takes on a more sympathetic tone.
Was there anything else you wanted to know?
That was not a more sympathetic tone.
I don't think so. You told me everything I wanted to ask. I only found out their name a couple months ago. Until then, I just thought of them as my person in my head. So, really, I've learned a lot more than I could have hoped for.
Aww. Well, I'm happy to help. Your friend has my contact info, so you can message me anytime if you think of anything else. I guess, if you think about it, you and I are kind of like family, right? Since it sounds like they raised you just as much as they raised their kids. Like my great, whatever.
Really?
She laughs.
Sure, why not? The more the merrier, right? I think that's how they would have seen it too.
Thank you! I really appreciate it.
It's from the very beginning of the game. Family. I may have a girlfriend, but family is something new to me. Silver called us sisters, but just barely. It makes my heart...
No problem. I'm sure we'll talk again, so I won't say goodbye. Instead, how about see you later?
I'd like that.
So,
Although, there's just one thing.
What's that?
I explain my magic, and how everyone forgets me after a day. Nodding sympathetically, Minsa agrees to join my list of people who check in with me every day. I'm glad she's so understanding, but it's just another reminder that I need to find a better, more permanent solution for people forgetting me. The second our call ends, I let out the sob I was holding back. So she was just a normal fox? Until Jung-in found her in the forest and, fed her and, healed her leg after she'd been hurt in a trap. And after that, she, I guess, became a gumiho somehow. After all my searching, and even after their death, I finally got the answer to the question my heart wanted to know. They cared about me, too. I try to imagine what their home must have been like, their wife and kids. I'm sure they were all smiles. Still, it's difficult for me to imagine how they looked. Instead, I can picture them, traveling just like what we meant, going from place to place freely, wherever the winds took them. Just like me, really. Posture check. Okay, I'm sitting up, and hydrate and stretch. Posture, stretch. Hold on, Varn, let me get your... Oh God, Varn's trying to drown me. Hold on. And the kitty voice? You want me to say something in the kitty voice, Varn? I pick one. I can't do both at once. Stop! Vardis! Vardis, stop! Ah! I'm being waterboarded, Jet! I'm being waterboarded! Someday I'd like to return to some of those places that I've been before and see them properly instead of blindly searching for one person and ignoring everything else. No, Lexi, no! No! Oh my God! It went down my bra! I'm just wearing a bra and panties and it's all, Lexi was holding it to my mouth, but I couldn't drink anymore, and so I just and it just spilled all down my bra and my panties. I'm taking them both off now. Lexi, can you please get me a towel? Oh, you wanted to get me naked? Well, mission success, you... My God. Ugh. Oh, you want me to say, in kitty voice, please stop drowning on us. God damn it. Someday I'd like to return to some of those places that I've been before and see them properly, instead of just blindly searching for one person and ignoring everything else. I'd like to visit them with some of the same wonder that Zhongyi felt. Naked and wet, yep. Honestly, that's how most of my streams wind up going, is me getting naked and wet. Nah, that's a lie. Twitch TOS, you know. Certainly the one where I fucked Judy had that happen, and the one with Karlach, where Karlach broke my pelvis. More than anything, I wish I could tell them all about what I've experienced and learned on this map they sent me in. Even though I can't, there's one thing I can now say for sure. They would have been proud. A few minutes later, I'm trying to pull myself together when the dog comes up to me and paws at my leg insistently. I can't help but smile. Whatever I'm going through doesn't matter to him at all. He just wants to eat or go outside, of course. My life or tears don't really make a difference to him one way or the other. And that really helps keep me grounded. You're always naked and wet, so it's an everyday thing. I'm glad to have some closure when it comes to Zhongyin, and to know they were just the kind person I imagined them to be. While their kindness and memory will never stop being special to me, I finally feel like I can say they're in the past. Time passed quicker than I could have ever imagined, but it still passed. It moved on, and now I need to too. Oh, look at me. Oh, she's got tears in her eyes. Oh God, someone's gonna clip the moment where I spilled liquid death all over myself, aren't they? God damn it. After wiping my eyes and blowing my nose, I stand up, and the dog spins in an excited circle as I reach for the door. He runs right for the kitchen, stopping right outside the cabinet where I stored his food. His nose quivers and he huffs like a pig as he waits for me to catch up.
Didn't take you long to get used to this, did it?
He barks at me, just a single short yap. But I can imagine him telling me to hurry up.
Alright. Give me a second.
I grab a clean bowl from the cupboard and scoop out some dinner. As the kibble clatters into the dish, he excitedly prances about, getting his snout into the bowl before it's even on the floor. Harrow and Skimble do that too, and in fact, nowadays, they actually get along. Yep, Varn hates the dog. Varn, I'm going to leave this dog on the screen for a bit as punishment for what you just put me through while I talk about how this relates to Harrow and Skimble. So our two cats, Harrow and Skimble, used to fight a lot. They fight a lot less now, and in fact, we even see them hanging out together. The one time that they do fight is when it's feeding time, and it's usually Harrow will, like, just hiss and bap at Skimble a little bit, and we think it's because, like, she feels safe around Skimble now that she's gotten used to him. But we're pretty sure that they both want to be the first one that gets fed. I had to manually allow that for that word, Tessa. But no, you're not a bitch or a dog. Unless you want to be my bitch, Tessa. Would you like to wear a collar while I take you for walkies, Tessa? Yeah, they are. We spoil them. His tail wags as he chows down, inhaling half his meal without even chewing. I reach towards him, but he growls at me with a mouthful of dog food.
Chill, I'm not taking it. I'd pour my own bowl if I wanted some. Besides, I don't think I could stand the taste anymore.
Yep. Oh, you'd love. We actually have a collar. And bondage tape. And Lexi and I have used both extensively. Of course, Lexi's the only one who's ever worn the collar and the tape. Should we make a Varnus theme park? Varnland! Finally, after he's done, he leaves the kitchen and heads right back up towards my room. He's gotten comfortable here much faster than I did. I wonder if it feels like home yet. After taking yesterday off, I sit down at the library desk with the dog for the first time. He does his usual pacing and sniffing. Since this is the first time he's really explored the area. I keep an eye on him while I start on the day's tasks, but he just flops on the floor near my feet and dozes. Varnus, I don't believe you are mentally prepared for what could possibly go wrong. Eventually, the first person who needs help comes up to the desk, carrying a couple books with
Hi
them.
there, I'd like to... Oh my god!
The sound of a new voice gets the puppy to stand up, and the lady across from me melts when she sees him. 4.0 KDR. Oops, wrong chat.
He's adorable. Can I pet him?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right, Tessa. Miho does have a 4.0 KDR.
Sure.
Or rather, the dog does. I mean, Varnus and Griff have already decided that this is the face of a murderer. It's not really up to me. If he doesn't want to be pet, he'll just walk away. The next person to show up does more or less the same thing, too. And the person after them, too. As the day gets later, the library gets busier. At least half the people who come in ask to pet the dog. I'm pretty sure some of the help requests I get are just excuses to see him. He handles it all pretty well, though, even leaving my side to go explore and visit with folks himself. Silver? Yo, chat, yo, that's Silver. That's Silver. No, you're Lexi. Hi, Harrow. Silver's the other Gumiho who is all like human hating. You let yourself be domesticated by those foul humans who hunt our kind for fun. You're like a human. You're not a fox, you're a domesticated dog. And then it's like, you're like nice to her, even though she's so... Well, no, she was tsundere. She's tsundere. Her experience, rather than being freed from a trap, she awoke as a Gumiho, being hunted by hunters and dogs, and when she got her powers, when being cornered, she, like, killed them all, and she's been, like, living in the wild as a thief, and it's just like, all humans bad, can't trust them because of that one experience. You know, survival's what matters. I don't need things like love and affection and friends. She was a tsundere. But I mean, Miho was nice to her. Miho was patient with her. Miho showed that she could be trusted. There was an incident where they were helping a bird with a broken wing, and they brought the bird to Juliet and Aspen, which is how Silver met them. And Silver was the one who told us what the meaning on Zhang-Yin's scroll was, and that it was please be happy, and so hey, here she is. Also, she sounds like someone familiar to me. I am wondering as to whether or not she's voiced by Auro Crony. I've looked it up, but I can't see who voices her.
Silver!
She isn't wearing her mask, so I get a clear view of her face as she narrows her eyes at the name, but approaches me all the same.
Miho.
I haven't seen Silver since Halloween, after she gave back my scroll and disappeared into the night. More than once, I've thought about going up to Mount Victoria to look for her, but haven't. It felt like I should give her some space after...
After what? Continue.
I felt like I should give her some space after
After what?
time.
Stop it.
Lexie's spanking me still. It's like it's hitting me extra hard because I'm naked. Shut the fuck up. You know exactly what you're doing. She stops at the desk, standing across from me, surrounded by books and other guests. You're driving Hot Wheels on me? She's got a Hot Wheels car and she's running it up and down my shoulder. And she likes to say, and that one time she did that and she said, I thought you said you wanted to use toys. Because she thinks she's so funny. You are hilarious. She stops at the desk, standing across from me, surrounded by books and other guests. Plus, being in the broad daylight, she looks a bit out of place. A short bark from next to me startles her, and she blinks in surprise as the dog runs around the desk to stand at her feet and yap at her directly.
A friend of yours?
Something like that. I found him at the park, and I've been taking care of him for a couple days.
He's a dog in the true sense of the word, then.
Varnus is an affront to God and Satan, according to Griff. That dog is a close second, though.
As far as I know, yeah, you finally got it right.
Her lips curl, but into a smile and not a sneer. Although she doesn't try to pet him, she looks down at the dog with some amusement. He stops barking and instead sniffs her furiously, looking between her and me like he's trying to figure something out. You can smell that we're the same.
He seems happy.
Is that Auro Crony's voice? Is that Crony Hololive's voice? Or am I just insane?
You can read his aura?
No? I don't need to, though.
Yeah, Silver's voice kind of sounds like her. She's got a cute little fang. We've never, like, seen her mouth. She's always had, like, that ninja mask on this whole time. 2 bottoms and a dog. Yep. Oh, you were here, LRB. I forgot you were here. Hi. Goddamn. Varn, not dog. Baka. Dogness. Yeah, that's right. Lexi is the puppy. If anyone is a puppy, it's Lexi. Deciding she's either boring or not a threat, the dog comes back to my side and lies down again, gnawing quietly on his chew toy. Silver looks back to me, then her eyes narrow.
You're
again.
being.
Oh, yeah.
I take off my necklace and hold it so she can see the cracks starting to appear. No, the bottoms are Miho and Silver.
It started doing this a
And
couple days
Lexi.
ago.
No, shut up, Lexi. Keeping her distance, she inspects it warily. In the palm of my hand, where the bead itself sits, I can feel a faint pulse like a heartbeat, although it doesn't sync up with my
So not much longer then.
Right.
It feels a little awkward to acknowledge, like I'm beating her in a race. I think
Varnas asked what I'd do if he made a Varnas-themed amusement park. I in turn said simply, gasoline.
Hold on, gasoline? Gasoline? You say gasoline? Griff? That's your answer? Ay, le gusta el gasolina. Dame más gasolina. Como le encanta gasolina. Dame más gasolina. Big roller coaster, named Flight of the Raven? Or Raven
He
something?
replied, the Varns made it all with steel. But Varnas, the customers aren't.
Oh no, that might be a safety violation, Varn.
I'm kinda scared of what's gonna happen next, to tell you the truth.
Scared? Why?
Change, I guess.
Shone Sky Fox. Just thinking of the word summons visions of blue skies and rolling forests in my mind. Pulse in my palm.
Hey, I have a question. What do you think would happen if I broke it?
Broke what?
This.
I hold my bead up closer, and she takes an instinctive half step back.
If I just crushed it or got rid of it instead of swallowing it. If that's even possible.
The spindly breaks that cover the bead make it look like it could fall apart at any second, like even if a light wind could shatter it. I can only imagine what Silver must be thinking. She's probably shocked that I'm even asking, but she keeps any scorn she's feeling off her face, and finally she shrugs.
I know not, nor why you would even consider such a thing. Though, the magic within our fox being is as much a part of us as our breath and blood.
So is that
Perhaps there is no life without it. Or perhaps we'd be no different than beasts.
You mean you think I'd turn back into a fox?
Maybe. Maybe not. I couldn't say. I've never heard of any of her sisters ever trying.
Lump forms in my throat, but I can watch that
I
down.
never thought of that. It makes sense though, huh? Since it was the bean that made me what I am.
Jab it and hovering over my
Shut up.
Huh?
I only said it was possible. I doubt it would happen. Either way, how dare you? Your bead is but a means to an end. It may have given you a chance, but it was you who took it. Every step you've taken has been your own. It made you nothing but capable.
weather wings through electric ball and flies throw. LRB out here spitting verses. Silver holds her arm out, putting her shiny bracelet in her ear.
Whoever or whatever you are now, you can never be a normal fox again, even were you to take the form of one.
Human fat can be a wick for a flame, and Americans have an obesity epidemic, so Rip isn't wrong. Then explain why I can't gain any weight for my entire life. Like, explain why I'm so goddamn.
Still, what power your being does offer has been ever in your service. Should you choose to discard it, I fail to see why it wouldn't respect your final wish.
Eat avocados. I'm good. Looks like this. I made silver for the bracelet nearly for the first time. The light makes it different. Because we're lucky and have a high metabolism and sex drive. Well, very true. I also cut a lot of junk out of my diet too, so. And I'm like also trying to drink less as well. That might be part of it. Although my bead is plain and round, nearly identical to the ones on my necklace, hers narrows in the middle and then widens again, like an hourglass. Two colorful bands run across it, almost too narrow to see. There's a red one and even a silver one. When I squint, I see it spring as well. There are others, but I can't see what they are before Silver shoves her hand into her pockets, staring into the light. I put my necklace back on. Okay, Varn, I'll do my best.
Thanks. I feel a lot better hearing you say that.
Yeah.
I told you so. To think otherwise would be insulting.
Silver's language? That's just her way of how you that's just how you say you're welcome.
Anyway, none of that is the reason I came here. I've come to keep my end of a promise. I'm leaving tomorrow.
What? So soon?
The news hits me like a punch in the gut, even though she told me she was planning this a long time ago.
Soon? I've already stayed longer than I intended. There's nothing more for me to be had here.
That's not true. There's...
Nothing more to be found, I should say.
Abruptly, her voice softens, making the first time out after Silver's tone is gentle.
Your path may end here for now, but mine goes ever on. Perhaps someday it will come to a similar end, but not today, nor tomorrow, Surely you understand.
For as long as I've known her, I could get through to Silver somehow. Help her see some of the things I was blind to myself. Especially now that we've started to become friends. Or maybe now that we've been friends for a while. I wish she would stay. But also, just like how I've already vowed to let the dog go if he wants to, I know I can't. And just like with Aspen, as much as I might want to do more, all I can do is try to support her. The rest is up to Silver.
Yeah. I understand. I'm coming to see you off, though.
Silver, consider.
Fine. I'll come to you here in the morning. Early. Be ready.
I will.
Good. I've said all I came to say then. Until tomorrow.
Without another word, she turns and heads for the door, disappearing through it just like she disappears into the trees. In the evening, after the library has already closed, there's a knock at the door while I'm downstairs. Sounds urgent.
Coming!
I open the door to find a worried-looking Gwen and Elijah.
Miho, is Tommy here? Nope. I haven't seen him since we talked last night. Is he missing?
Oh no.
Yeah, he was at the house with me and I went to pick up some dinner. When I got back, he was gone.
We hope maybe he came here to visit you.
Although I still talk to all three of them every day, it's been a while since I've seen Tommy in person. Not since the last time he and Gwen came to the library, which was a couple weeks ago.
I haven't seen him. Did something happen?
Well,
The two of them looked at each other.
we finally got the divorce paperwork finalised. So now it's official.
I think he'd been hoping that maybe it wouldn't happen.
Hi,
We just got everything signed, so now there's no going back.
Why do you have a fork in your hand? Was she trying to steal your chicken pot pie? Yes. Of course she was. Harrow's being a little food thief. Again. No one was surprised.
Let me go get ready, and I'll help you look for him.
Thank you.
I let Juliet know what I'm doing, and she agrees to look after everything while I'm gone. When I hurry back outside, Gwen and Elijah are
I
waiting.
don't think he could have gone too far. I just went down the street to pick up some pizzas and Gwen came over as soon as I told her he was missing.
It's not the first time he's gone to hide, but he's never run away from home like this before.
Tommy! We walk down the residential streets with Elijah and Gwen alternating calling for Tommy. I keep my eyes peeled not just for him, but for Gerby too. None of us have any luck. Gerby, Tommy, where'd you go? Near the beach.
Maybe we should split up. I'll go check at the house again in case he went back. Gwen, maybe you can look around in town?
All right. But what about Miho?
I have an idea, actually. I'm gonna look around Mount Victoria.
Okay, we all have our phones, so we can call if one of us finds him. And then we can meet back here. All right?
Elijah and I both agree, and then we all go our separate ways. I head straight for the mountain and veer off the path into the woods. For a while, it seemed like Tommy was coming to terms with everything that was happening in his life. Was the shock of the divorce going through really enough to make him run away from home like this? I followed the path that Tommy and I took when we came here a while ago until I finally reached what used to be my den. It's in even worse shape than the last time I came here. Still, I'm not surprised to find Tommy sitting in the dirt that used to be its entrance, holding tightly.
Me!
There are tear stains around his eyes and his clothes are filthy.
Hey there. Looking for bugs? Your parents are looking for you, you know? They came to the library to see if you were there. They told me why you might have run away.
Tommy shakes his head again, more vigorously.
I wasn't running away. I was chasing Gerby.
Huh? The fabled wiggles in his arms.
You know how Gerby can fly, right? But look what happens now.
Cautiously, Tommy stands up and sets Gerby on the ground. Immediately, Gerby starts to rise into the air like a balloon, pulled up towards the sky. Tommy grabs him before he can get too high and hugs him to his chest again.
Gerby's not doing that himself?
Fabled shakes his head, eyes looking somewhat sad.
No, it just started happening. First he kept hitting the ceiling, then when Dad went to go get dinner, he left the door open and Gerby blew outside. Then I had to run to go catch him and we ended up coming here. I was gonna go home, but I don't know what to do.
I see tears start to sparkle in Tommy's eyes again. He sniffles. It's good to know he didn't believe it was about his parents. Change with Gerby.
Is it okay if we go meet up with your parents? I know they're pretty worried. And we can tell them about Gerby too.
Okay, I'm not letting go of him though.
I lead us back towards where I split up with Tommy's parents as we did.
Miho, tell me you found him.
I did. Yeah. We're headed to the beach now.
Thank God. I'll see you there soon.
See you soon. She disconnects and I call Elijah next.
Hey, I found Tommy, and we're going to the meetup spot right now.
You did? You're a lifesaver, Miho. Is he alright?
Yeah, he's fine. He was just chasing after Gerby.
Gerby? I should have figured that out.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you guys about it in person. See you in a bit.
We're the first ones to reach the shore. Tommy stands with his feet in the water, still clutching Gerby against his chest. He sniffles occasionally, but doesn't cry. Footsteps run from behind to signal Gwen and Elijah's arrival. Tommy and I turn around, and both of his parents' eyes go wide.
Wait, is that?
Gerby?
The two of them are looking right at the little fabled. As Tommy realizes, his expression also changes to shock.
Can you see him?
Stunned, both of his parents nods. Gerby waves his flower arms, looking thrilled to be finally noticed.
Well, I'll be. The little guy looks just like I imagined.
Something's wrong with Gerby. If I let go of him, he starts to blow away in the wind. I don't know what happened to him.
Is that why you ran out?
Yeah, I had to catch him.
Small smile, Elijah steps forward and pats his son on the head.
I heard something kind of interesting, actually. I asked a lot of people from work if they'd ever heard of a fable like Gerby. And it turns out one of them had. He said that when he was young, he had a friend just like Gerby, his only friend. They kept him company when his parents were fighting or when anything else that was bad was happening. Then, once he got older and things weren't as tough anymore, he said his friend had to leave him one day in order to go to help out the next kid who needed someone. He told me that fabled like Gerby stick around until they know that their friends will be okay without them. And then it's time for them to go. Sounds like maybe this is that time for Gerby.
But I don't want him to go. I want him to stay.
Tommy can't keep himself from crying anymore. Although he holds onto Gerby, big tears roll down his face. In his arms, Gerby looks up at him kindly.
Sweetie, sometimes we don't have a choice. Sometimes we have to let things go, even if it's hard. From what Dad said, it sounds like Gerby knows you're tough and that you'll be okay, right? Don't you trust
Cry.
Gerby?
cry.
do, but
This is how all my streams end, isn't it? Fucking naked, crying, and covered in carbonated seltzer. God damn.
is it true?
We're not
Do
ending
you really
yet.
have to leave?
Kirby's petals sag as he nods, patting Tommy's hands. Gwen wipes Tommy's eyes for him as Tommy pulls Kirby into a hug. His tears drip down onto Kirby's leaves like rain.
There's someone else who needs you, right?
Still close to Tommy, Kirby nods again.
Okay.
Gwen and Elijah moved to either side of Tommy and I step away, keeping a respectful distance. It doesn't really involve me now. Gwen leans down, split.
Thank you, Gerby, for being there for Tommy.
Yeah. Thanks, Gerby.
Finally, it's Tommy.
Thank you, Gerby, for being my friend. I'll miss you.
Thanks, Kirby. Tommy manages to stop crying. Kirby leans against Tommy. Tommy's left. Tommy giggles. Then he opens his arms. Each of his parents take one of Tommy's hands as Kirby floats there for a second and slowly starts to rise. With his tiny little petals, Kirby waves goodbye. Eyes crinkled in a smile. The breeze shakes his leaves, but doesn't knock him off his course. Up, up, he goes. Tommy's eye level floating above their heads. From behind them, I can see Tommy squeezing his parents' hands.
Bye, Gerby.
Goodbye, Kirby. After a final whispered farewell, Kirby continues to drift up until he's eventually out of sight. Tommy, Gwen, and Elijah remain standing there, in the shallow water. Quietly, I sneak away, leaving the three of them together on their own. I'm sure I'll hear all about it later when we have our regular call. But for now, I think they have a few things that they probably want to talk about together. As I make my way back to the library, I smile, glad that things worked out. It may take some time, but I know that they'll be all right in the end. After all, I trust Kirby too. I just got an achievement. It takes a village. Make friends with Tommy. Awesome. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, chat. Give me a moment. I need to emotionally recover from that. Yeah, so now it's time. Silver's thing next. We're going to say bye to Silver. Anyway, be right back. 1 sec. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Hi, Arrow. So that's how many times this game has made me cry? Should I have a cry counter on here? Judging by the knocking at my window, it turns out Silver and I have different ideas of early. I roll over in bed, not totally sure that I'm not dreaming, in time to see Silver gesture at me and then leap from the tree again. A few minutes and lots of eye rubbing later, I'm ready and outside to meet her, with the dog staying behind without any arguments this time. Silver's carrying a small sack with her, which I assume contains all her belongings. It's tied shut with a small rope, and she slings it over her shoulder. Oh, Evo Cat! Thank you. Welcome! Wrong one. Revo Cat. We want Revo Cat 13. Welcome, welcome. Welcome in, Raiders. How was your stream, Revo Cat? How was Fallout 76? Did you have a good time? Hold on, I'm gonna swallow my food. You got annoyed at a quest? I'm sorry. We don't exchange any words of greeting. Instead, we just start walking. As frustrating as it can be half the time, sometimes I also appreciate her willingness to just end a conversation, or not even start one. I don't have to worry about being a good enough conversationalist for her. It's easier to get more out of her silence than it is many others, too. The fact that she let me come along on this last trip, much less came to get me, says a lot. We make our way through the streets, not seeing many other pedestrians or even cars. Only a handful of city buses, and a couple of them roaming around empty, too. Silver walks faster than either Aspen or Juliet, but I'm able to keep pace pretty easily. Makes our journey short, though. The glass walls and security gates of the skyport come into view, waiting for us. It was the first place to greet us when we arrived, and now it's ready to see her off again. I wonder what Silver's thinking about right now. Is she feeling sad at all, preparing to miss this place? Or is she ready to leave and potentially never return? Good or bad, I don't think she'll ever be able to forget her time in Wellington. We come to a stop just a few meters away from the entrance, facing the double glass doors. Our reflections stare
Call
back at
me Unbi.
us. Unbi.
Unbi?
Unbi. It's in Korean. Un for silver. B for rain. Silver rain. Oh, she doesn't turn to me. I can still see her face turn red.
Yes, it's the name I've settled on. What do you think?
I hope she sees me.
I think it's perfect.
Good. Thank you. I'm not sure what words to say. I've never said goodbye before.
It's okay. I never know either. I hope you'll come back someday. Or that we'll see each other again somewhere else.
Fate brought us together once. Perhaps it'll do so again.
So you think it was fate after all, huh?
Perhaps not.
She looks down at her wrist, surely thinking about her being even though it's hidden.
If not fate, then shall we make a promise that neither of us can keep?
What was the quest you got annoyed with, Revo Cat? You want to tell us about it?
You haven't broken a promise to me yet.
We'll meet someday then. Perhaps you won't even recognize me. I might be someone else entirely.
Someday. I'm sure that I'll recognize you, though. You might change, but you'll still be you. no matter what.
Even if I'm MB now.
You've been MB the whole time.
Like always, I can tell when she's out. Or she is happy, like not yet.
At first, you didn't want me to call you Silver. With your magic, what does a silver aura mean?
Our eyes meet in the glass. Finally, she closes hers with a
Shame.
smile.
Goodbye, Miho.
Oh,
Goodbye,
Silver.
MB.
Bye, MB. It takes her just a couple steps to reach the door. They slide open silently, dissolve in reflections. He doesn't look back once it just rolls through, letting him shut behind her once again. I'm left looking at myself. Finally, I turn around too and start working my way back home. The last library guest of the day turns out to be my favorite one. Aspen enters just after closing time with a small wrapped package in her hands. What you got for us, Aspen?
Aspen! I didn't know you were coming.
That's because I wanted it to be a surprise. Also because I wasn't sure I'd be able to get off work in time. But we managed.
Ooh, a surprise?
Right. I have a present, but I'm afraid it's not for you.
For Juliet?
Aspen just smiles in response. She takes my hand and I let her lead the morning. The dog follows behind us. Juliet's
Ah,
already there.
Aspen. Good evening.
Hello, hello.
She sets the box on the table. Inside, as like she was showing up for breakfast.
This is the first time I've been able to sit down in hours.
Thank you for joining us. I'm sure you must be exhausted.
It's fine. This is important after all.
This is important after all. It's so important after all. Don't put the blame on me.
Wait, Juliet knew you were coming? I thought your present was for her.
Nope. I just said it wasn't for you. Although you'll still need to open it because it's for him.
Gestures at the puppy who's on the ground, chewing on his own foot. Aspen slides the box across the table towards me, and I lift it up. It's very heavy. Both Aspen and Juliet watch me.
Here goes.
I slice open one of the paper, rip it away all the way to one go. Beneath this box, write the color letters. Try to sound them out.
Deluxe printer ink cartridges.
Aspen leaning forward in anticipation. Please.
Not quite. That was the only box I could find. Open it up too.
My nail on the box, pop it open.
little big for him now, but I thought he'd grow into it soon. Without having him with me, I just had to guess what the right size was.
I love the mask. Yeah, dog, and that.
Does this mean...
Indeed. They're gifts for the newest member of our household. I've searched and I can't find anyone looking for a lost dog like him. Nor has anyone reached out to me about it either. As he's already house-trained, he clearly lived in a house at one point. And besides, he seems happy to be here. He's already found himself a home with you. As he's already house-trained, he clearly lived in a house at one point. But it seems that was a long time ago. I don't believe he'll be going back.
Dog get himself gets up and comes to sniff the accessories. My goodness.
While I'm sure I know the answer already, I feel I... While I'm sure I know the answer already, I feel I should ask all the same. Would you like to keep him?
If someone had tried to put a collar on me, if someone had tried, I would have done everything in my power to avoid it. Kicked, ran, whatever. No way I'd have allowed someone to control me like that. But it's not. Already, the dog is looking healthier than I first found it. He's spilled out of it. His ribs don't poke out as much. Better behaved than I would have been too. Yet, he said he must have lived in a house before. That he doesn't always know how to take care of himself. If I hadn't taken him apart that day, it would have been a matter of time before he got hurt. Like when he almost got hit by the car. I grew up in a line. Always. When I look back up at my friends, their faces are slightly concerned. Probably expecting me to say yes right away.
I want to keep him. But what if he doesn't want to stay?
Aww.
He's been comfy here so far, but what if that changes?
Why not ask him?
He doesn't know any words like Percy and Byron. I just talk to him anyway.
Those two are very well spoken, I'll have you know. But that's not what I meant. Don't you remember back on
Her face goes a little red.
that day I asked you out? You were telling me how animals don't have to communicate with words. Could you maybe ask him as a fox?
I hadn't thought of that.
This could go bad. I haven't transformed in a while. I haven't had any reason to. Aspen's right, though. Maybe there are things that I can say this way. Setting the leash and collar on the table, I take a couple steps away from the dog and change clothes. More than ever before, I can feel the magic coursing out of my being and into my body. The sensations of my limbs shortening, my face changing, and fur growing out, stand out more than usual. They aren't uncomfortable, but I'm just barely noticing it at all. My transformation is complete. The dog begins to growl, his hackles raise, and his tail stiff, backs away slowly. He's clearly afraid, but the nuances of what he's trying to say are hard for me to pick up, because I'm so out of practice. It's like when I try to speak Korean after a long time. Danger, fear, missing, where. I get the impression that he wants to know what happens to me. And he knows. That disappearance suddenly. He's probably never seen a fox before, but he instantly identifies me as a threat. Above us, Juliet and Aspen want changes. My tails brush from side to side, and I use my ears and body language. I try to impress upon him that I'm not dangerous, and that the creature he's looking at like I have to will my thoughts across to him. I try to convey that he can trust me. He knows me still. He growls softly as he keeps his distance and fur raised as he sniffs the air. Doubt, doubt, trust, doubt. Return. Just a couple inches away, I stop and lay down on the ground, showing that I trust him in return and know that he's not a threat to me. Doubt, doubt, trust, trust, trust. Finally, he approaches me. We look into each other's eyes, and then he gives me a gentle kiss on the snout. Trust. I nuzzle against him, showing that his faith was well placed. As I do, I try to convey other feelings to him, the same way as him. I tell him, stay, I ask him, home, stay, safe. I imagine a little him settling down here like I have until everything is familiar, going to sleep well fed and safe and waking up rested. Maybe he had done that before, and so I don't know how anyone could disappoint him and left him to fend for himself. How so? There's one thing I can promise, is that I never let that happen. If I couldn't take care of myself anymore, I wouldn't just abandon him. His tail whacks against the wall as he wags it. Now that he's figured out who I am, it doesn't seem like he has to think about it too hard. Home, I transfer him back into my other form. This time, he doesn't seem bothered at all. Picking the leash and collar back up, I finally smile at Aspen.
He's gonna stay.
Aspen helps me put the collar onto the dog, and then we head out into the backyard.
I'm glad it fits all right. He doesn't seem to mind too much either.
Yeah, that was pretty easy. Maybe he's used to it.
Or maybe he knew you were doing something good for him.
Aspen and I sit down on the steps while the dog runs around. He finds a ball that he left out here and brings it over to me to throw. I toss it, but not too far, and he hurries off to get it.
Have you thought about what you're going to name him?
No, not really. I guess he needs one though, huh?
It's better than just calling him the dog all the time.
Right. Well, if I was gonna be consistent, then I should probably call him Og or Uppy.
Neo, you're adorable. Aspen laughs.
Perfect. I know who to ask if I'm ever struggling to name a character someday.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Before she left today, Silver told me she'd picked a name for herself too. She chose Umbi. It means silver rain in Korean.
That's gorgeous. I like that she kept Silver as part of it. I suppose that means you helped name her too.
You're right. I wonder if she thought about it that way. I'll bet she'd change it on the spot if I ever asked her. I wish you could have talked to her more. I wish I could have too.
I'd have liked to know her better as well.
For her story?
That's part of it. But it's not the only reason. From what you've told me about her, she seems like a good person deep down, who hasn't had the opportunity to express that much. She seems like someone who could have come to be an important part of our lives. Not to say that she isn't already important to you.
Like him.
Not too far away, the dog rolls around in the grass to the distant my dog.
Yes, exactly. You said it yourself about Unbi. The two of you are like family.
Yeah.
And now, this fellow is part of the family too.
I pat my leg, and the dog instantly sits up to walk over to us, greeting each of us with a lick on the hand. I think I'm
Happy.
Hmm?
His name is Happy.
Happy looks at me, his tongue lolling out the side of his face in a smile. Aspen.
Do you like that name?
I ask him the question, knowing that I won't get an answer. Still, it feels polite to ask. And even though I chose it to do it as a human, not a fox.
I'm sure he does. A saying that I appreciate is that names are a gift that someone gives you. And if it doesn't fit, you can exchange it for one that does.
Ain't that the truth?
In this case, I think it suits him perfectly.
Watching the dog close his eyes in comfort as he keeps getting attention. I'm glad that Aspen
Now that you mention it, I've done a lot of name exchanging too.
You only started going by Miho here in Welly, right?
Yeah. I'm surprised you remember that.
She taps her forehead.
I'm good at remembering important things, and Miho things are important.
I lean against her, resting my head on Aspen's shoulder.
I think I like being Miho. All the good things in my life started happening after I picked that name.
I like you being Miho too.
The two of us sit for a while more, playing with Happy until he gets too tired to keep chasing the ball, taking that as a sign that we should call it a night. All three of us head inside together.
And here you are.
With a flourish, Aspen slides 2 plates onto the table between Juliet and me. There's fresh cut fruit, some warm potatoes, and a sandwich made with bacon and cheese. I hardly ever have meat anymore, so it's a rare treat.
Whoa! This looks really good!
I'm glad I haven't lost my touch. I don't do this kind of table service very often, you know.
I know! We must be your favorite customers or something.
Maybe, but don't tell the rest of them.
Today is Aspen's last day at this Bell House, so she invited Juliet and I to breakfast for a change of pace. Happy came along too, of course, his leash is tied tightly to my chair. Juliet shifts her parasol a little bit to match the rising sun. She sips her tea and smiles warmly.
There's a reason this is our favorite cafe to visit.
Soon to be second favorite, I hope.
Aspen leans against the railing, looking up at the sky. The sun really highlights the bags beneath her eyes and all the small things that probably only I notice, such as how her apron is tied more sloppily than she usually likes, or how her hair is done up roughly. Still, even this close to the finish line, she looks a lot better than she did when she was working on her book, happier and more content, instead of looking like she's going to fall over at any moment, as no one deserves it more. She catches me looking at her and pretends to glare.
Your sandwich is getting cold, Miho. I worked hard on that, you know.
Sorry.
I lift it up and take a big bite. Just like the strawberry croissants, it's messy but delicious. Don't they make anything to eat here that doesn't need to come with a stack of napkins? I still managed to finish it in a hurry.
That was so good! I didn't even know you had them on the menu. Or I'd have ordered one before.
It's not on the menu. It's just something I put together myself. I had to mark out a lot of different items to make it. But if you think so highly of it, then maybe I'll think about adding it to my store.
You should! I'll eat one every day.
Yeah!
Every day is an awfully long time.
It was that good.
I saved a little bite for Happy, who's currently protecting us from everyone who passes by. He doesn't bark or growl, but he keeps pace with them, walking as far as his leash will let him before going back to the start. He never tries to go too far, though.
Happy!
He tilts his head and then comes running, and I hold out the treat on the palm of my hand, being as careful not to bite me as he can, and he pulls it away with his tongue and munches, well, happily.
Perhaps you should consider a dog-sized version on the menu too.
That would be the most adorable thing my team ever hated me for. I should make sure to keep some dog biscuits, though. I'll have to write that down.
From one of the pockets on her apron, Aspen retrieves something I haven't seen in a while. A small notebook. She starts to write something down and reads.
Oh, Juliet! I just remembered.
See it setting the book on the table. Aspen hurries into the cafe. Juliet and I both watch her go. Even Juliet seems a little surprised. But 10 seconds later, the door flies open again and Aspen is back, carrying a different piece of
Regina approved my idea to put a reading corner in the new store. I was wondering if you would let me borrow a few books to stock it. Maybe it could even be an extension of the library.
That's awesome. She holds up the paper, showing us a sketch of what it'll look like. That is awesome. Several wooden shelves line one wall, and on the other side is a tall bookshelf that separates the reading spot from the counter and kitchen.
It hasn't been set up yet, but they'll be installing it tomorrow. So on opening day, all that will be left to do is fill the shelves.
Juliet claps with delight.
I love that idea. It would be my pleasure to share our collections.
Aspen beams, and I can't help but smile too for both of them. I know that in a sense, this is another dream come true for Aspen.
Why don't you come by tomorrow and pick out a few, and we can bring them to you at the opening?
That sounds great. I already have a list somewhere. I started daydreaming a little bit when I first came up with the idea.
This feels very, like, end of game-ish. I don't know if that's just me, or I sit back and listen to the two of them chat about books for a while. It's nostalgic. All the names and titles go over my head, as unknown to me as they were months ago. This time, though, I don't mind. I don't feel left out. I wait for their conversation to reach a lull before clearing my throat. Oh, right, it's not. There is the pearl shattering. The bead. There's something that I want to talk about, too. Something I've become more sure of since yesterday.
Hey, speaking of new jobs and stuff, I've been thinking about maybe trying something new instead of working at the library. If Juliet doesn't mind.
Of course not. Please, follow your heart, and I'll always support you. Is there something in particular you want to try?
Yeah. It's something I just thought of a couple days ago, but that felt right as soon as I did.
On the ground beside me, Happy hasn't left since I gave him that bite of sandwich, even though he hasn't gotten anything else since then either.
It was something this guy made me realize I want to do too. I want to try to help out at the nature preserve. Yesterday, Aspen said that Happy kind of reminded her of Unbi. That's Silver's new name, by the way. It's the first one she picked for herself.
Well, maybe not end of gamey, because we haven't resolved the bead yet.
Anyway, not just them, but also that bird. The one I found in the woods that we weren't able to save. I think about it a lot. I want to try helping others like that. Other birds and dogs and whatever they have there. Like how someone helped me before too. Lots of someones, I mean.
Oh, Miho, that's wonderful! How perfect for you! I'd be glad to give you a recommendation to Amaya. I believe they're always looking for volunteers. After a while, you could even apply to work there, like Amaya does. But listen to me getting ahead of myself. I'm already so excited for you.
Baby grew up. Yeah. Aspen looks a little more concerned.
I agree. That does sound like something that would be just right. But what about your magic? With the library, it's not a big deal since you live with Juliet. You couldn't see all your co-workers every day, though.
Yeah. I've thought about that. I think I have an idea, but I'm not too sure about it yet.
Really? What were you thinking?
I don't want to say right now. I'm still thinking about it. I'll make up my mind soon, though.
I can tell Aspen wants to know more, but she forces herself to not, stickly nod all the same.
All right, you can tell us when you're ready.
Thank you. It won't be long, promise.
It's not that I don't want to tell her. It's just that I don't want to get her hopes up. I'm kind of afraid to get my own hopes up. I take a deep breath, feeling my bead rise and fall with my chest. Maybe I'm just afraid in general. Still, I swallow that fear, pushing it to the back of my mind. I can brood and ponder later. Right now, I just want to focus on what I've got, enjoying this meal and moment. I'm going to call the stream right here for the day. We'll save right there. That's the title.
Bye-bye! See you next time!
Bye-bye! And we're going to find someone to raid. And I think I know just who to raid, chat. Yep. So, it's a new friend that I'm going to send you to. And her name is Penny Senseless. I'm going to send you all to her channel, and she's currently playing Ori and the Blind Forest. And I'm going to send you all a message that I want you to give Penny Senseless. It's not going to be stick 'em up. This is a raid this time. Let me think about how I want to say this. Something about, oh, whoop, no, no, no. That is not a threat. Those of you who have seen Lola's mouthfeel stream will know what I'm talking about. But, oh god, I'm gonna get myself in so much trouble for this. I'm trusting that she'll know what I mean. Everybody, raid into, Penny Senseless's stream with that message, and as always, and of course, be good to Penny. She's a very, very good bean, a very cute kitty, a very cute, a very cute VTuber. So I want y'all to be nice to her, okay? And as always, everybody, until next time, be gay, do crime, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!